Alright guys, we're back for another Dokkan battle video. So we have got a brand new EZA character here for us to look at. This is an EZA physical Buutenks. Now, an EZA physical Buutenks, funny enough, is one of the best characters in the game right now. It's not this guy, it's, you know, his partner in crime right here. This is one of the best units in the game. Probably a top 10 unit in the game overall for me. Very, very powerful, right? Now, I'm not really too sure how this guy's gonna look. We'll jump in and we'll see. I think he's got some abilities here that seem interesting, right? So he lowers superclass enemies attack by 30% and defense by 60%. Very situational, but like that could have value. I mean, right now, blue Gogeta at the end, I mean, you know, Buutenks is going to be type disadvantage against Gogeta, so that would be really bad. But, you know, he just hits the field and then he's debuffing the enemies. That could be good. Again, don't get it twisted. Gogeta, one of Gogeta's normals will kill this guy. Like, it's even through the debuff will not stop Gogeta from killing him. But, you know, just as an example of, like, a big fight that can be debuffed. So, of course, we're going to give this guy mostly dodge. I probably should go a little bit higher in dodge. What I could do is I could change the gold equip, and we could give him, like, I believe there are level 6 dodges that the Whis event drops sometimes, right? So there's the Whis event equips. You see how many of those I've got? I believe there's level 6 dodges. There's 57 level 5 dodges. Okay, what about? Yeah, I have 11 level 6 dodges. So those are pretty uncommon, actually. Those aren't super common. But I could, you know, bump him up to like a level 6 dodge right there. Some characters, like I should consider giving that to like Harudegarn or something like that, right? Well, anyway, obviously we're going to give this guy dodge. I mean, I don't think many people would disagree. If you're putting crit on this guy, you're insane. I mean, that's not the role that this guy's going to have. He does guaranteed crit when the enemy's in attack down or defensive down anyway, but regardless, trying to put crits on this guy, it's like, no. His super attack effect is pretty decent as well, so additionals, I think, could also be decent for him. Alright guys, so we are here in an event. Let's go and take a look at what Buutenks is going to be able to provide for us. So, big thing I want to mention right away is that we are in the Supreme Battle Spectacle UI Goku fight, rather than Supreme Battle Spectacle Evolution Blue Vegeta, which I typically like to use. One major reason is because Goku in the first 2 phases in here, we could actually debuff him. So, well, attack and defensive debuff him. So right now, Buutenks, again, is hitting God Goku right here with minus 30% attack and 60% defense. Let's just quickly run down what he does. Like, he's not super complex, right, as a sub-EZA character. So he does that. He gets 1 key 100% stats, gets 150% attack and defense and super attack. He gets 2 key 100% attack and defense and 30% damage reduction if all allies attack and in turn are Buu Saga characters. And then he does a guaranteed crit when the enemy is in attack down or defensive down. Now, this is where I should mention something. I do think that this Buutenks would just outright be a better character if the 30% damage reduction was swapped for 70% dodge. It's kind of a big misconception. I see it all the time where people say, like, oh, guard is better than dodge, damage reduction is better than dodge. Those are only true if the character has monster defense, right? Like, you know, guard is, you know, oh my god, way better than dodge on Tech Ultimate Gohan because he has a billion defense most of the time, right? A sub-EZA character like this, that damage reduction ain't gonna do anything against the big bosses. Maybe Supreme Battle Spectacle Trunks, it'll work well, because Buu is physical, he'll already be guarding, and then he'll have the damage reduction on top of it. But that just doesn't really work too well with how hard enemies hit now. It just doesn't. It's just a fact. Then Buutenks right here, he gets 50% attack and defense for 1 turn on his super, and then he does seal as well. So that's not really too bad. He's got some stuff. Like, I do like this Buutenks a little bit. In terms of links here, we have Majin, Over in a Flash, Metamorphosis, Kamehameha, Nightmare, The Wall Standing Tall, and Fierce Battle. So Over in a Flash is not going to do us any good. I mean, this guy wants to be run pretty much specifically on a Majin Buu Saga Majin Power Team, sort of. Is that, well, it doesn't need to be a Majin Power Team, I guess, but like we want to be running him on Buu Saga. That's huge. This first turn is going to be, I think, the best he's going to look, because we have most of his links up. We have the 50% support Super Buu here. God Goku is debuffed, so, you know, remember, Buutenks is going to be doing guaranteed crits. Let's see what he's going to do right here. Alright, so there's God Goku Super on Exchange Buu, who's going to take no damage from that. Thank you. And he gets up to 11 million. Okay, I mean, this is a guaranteed crit. Sure, sure. Do we get an additional? No. And then remember, because it's a full Buu Saga team, he is going to have damage reduction. So, for a sub-EZA level character like this Buutenks, by the way, I do not at all mind him having some sort of, you know, Buu Saga restriction or something like that. On a major Dokkan Fest character, like, it's something I really don't like on, like, Ancient Super Saiyan 3 Goku, for example. But, like, for a sub-EZA character, I don't think it's a big deal. Alright, guys, so in the second phase right here, again, this is still a phase where Goku could be debuffed. I am kind of curious. Let's put Buutenks. Will we get anything additional? No. Perfect. Okay. Let's put Buutenks right here. Maybe this Goku will super him. Again, we're massively lowering his attack, right? 30% debuff is going to be pretty nice. We are going to have the damage reduction. We are type disadvantage, though, but I would just like to see. I believe that this Goku supers around... Sorry, 8.6 million right there. I believe this Goku supers for about 1.5 million damage. Okay, we dodge right there, sure. Here's the super, okay. Oh, well. Sure. I did want to see how much damage he would take, but I will accept the dodge as well. I mean, that's why, hey, you know, just flip the rotations around. Pretend that, you know, we're running Buutenks as our floating character, and you know, Blue Gogeta decided he's gonna super in slot 3 or something like that. Well, you got your get out of jail free card, because that damage reduction isn't gonna do enough against Gogeta Blue. Alright, we'll keep going though. We'll, you know, get some more footage and see what Buutenks is gonna do. He's a pretty basic character, but I mean, don't forget about his debuff and his sealing abilities. Those are interesting when it comes to using this Buutenks potentially in other types of content. Alright, we're going pretty slow, of course. I mean, it's not really too shocking. Buutenks is gonna work pretty well next to the Pure Evil Buu. So, damn. I mean, the worst part of a showcase would be, like, okay, let's hope Pure Evil Buu doesn't kill Goku. But this, like, sometimes I'll be like, all right, well, I'd rather we get the footage of, you know, like, blah, blah, blah. I've done the whole spiel. You guys get it. This Buutenks, like, there's no clowning around. Like, he's got to go in slot 2 or 3, right? I'm just hoping that Evil Buu right here does not kill Goku. Remember, Evil Buu can Ki Blast counter Goku's super, too, if this Goku supers him. Sets a guaranteed crit, guaranteed additional super, another guaranteed crit coming in. Like, if you could run the full Majin Power Team, remember, this guy is good. This probably is one of the better banner units we've gotten in some time. He can take a lot of damage, though, I guess, as we just saw right there. Taking damage from normals this early is not good, but, I mean, he does have the KO survive mechanic. Yep, alright, so now, you know, we kind of were, like, debuffing, we were doing some damage, stuff like that. Now the fight kind of, like, gets serious once we get to the UI Goku portions of it. Should we transform yet? Probably not, huh? Nah, I'll sum out with Buutenks, because Buutenks has guaranteed guard right here. This is going to be another fight, too, where it's, like, almost not... You're not Link level 10. Yep, I saw that. The Majin Buu characters have a Link that needs to be level 10, and it's Majin. This is actually, I would argue, pretty big for Fat Buu, because it gets him an additional key right there. Yeah, Fat Buu is one of the characters that does need to be Link leveled, because that extra key right there is pretty valuable. I guess, to be fair, though, the Majin Power Team is not a team that struggles for key. So, I mean, that's, I don't know. But, yeah, you're definitely going to want to make sure Fat Buu is Link leveled for sure. Alright, even if UI Goku would have super attacked right there, he wouldn't have. Buu had true type advantage. He's guarding. We've already stacked up a little bit with him, so we'd have been good. Alright, we'll just skip to Buutenks' next turn. He seems okay-ish. I think, like, if remember, his role is to be, like, the very last unit. He's like a filler or a fill-in type character pretty much for, like, this exact, like, squad right here. Like, Majin Power, Majin Buu Saga is kind of how you want to use this guy. If it's some type of fight where the debuffs can be handy, I don't know about using this guy against Cell Max. I know the debuff is nice, and he does seal, which is good too, but, like, he can't, like, this Buutenks is not going to be able to stand up in front of Cell Max. Like, maybe if, you know, he starts out in slot 7, and then there's one attack at the end, and he dodges it or something like that, and then he comes back in slot turn 6, and then by then you've already got him sealed, and you could, you know, well, I guess, yeah, his debuff only works against superclass enemies, which obviously Cell Max is not, so, yeah, he's definitely a bit limited. Okay, so AGL characters right now are feasting. They're thriving by being AGL against all these really tough STR bosses. Whereas at the same time, physical characters, it's tough because there's all these monster STR bosses right now. All right. Here's where I could regret the fact that I brought the support Buu here. We have 6 out of 7 links activated. Everything is up except for Majin Power. That's the only link we do not have up. Because excuse me. The only link we don't have up is Over in a Flash. Because it's basically a Saiyan link, right? Like, it's like not, like, it's not actually a Saiyan link, but, I mean, when I say that, you see. Because, like, Full Power Frieza's got it. I guess it's possible that, like, but AGL LR Full Power Frieza doesn't have it. I mean, I guess it's possible that, like, well, no, I mean, yeah, it's maybe this guy's super easy, eh? I guess. But, well, no, because Buutenks wants to be running a full Majin Buu Saga team. I guess you can run Gotenks. Oh my god, Evil Buu, please. Hello, buddy? Okay, that's not good. Okay. Wasn't a good start by him. Okay, sure. Now, of course, obviously, as you guys understand, we're going to need to dodge this next hit or we die. So, Evil Buu, please. I mean, we have gotten... Okay. I was going to say, we have gotten good footage for Buutenks already, though. Oh, no, that was the highest attacks that we've seen from him. Okay. Not a guaranteed crit anymore, because we can't debuff UI Goku, but okay. Worked pretty well. Now here's where we get the strength of the Majin Power team. This is when we do this. So this is where we just throw Fat Buu out, right? Like that? Yeah. And I'll intentionally miss the super attack, I guess. Sure. Let's do this. Alright, surely we'll just be able to easily get this Fat Buu revive right here. Perfect. Look at that. Easy peasy, guys. Alright, so now we have UI Goku. UI Goku is definitely primed for his super attack at this point, right? I would say there's a decent chance we could see the super attack hit us in slot 2. I don't think there's any chance Buutenks would have of surviving the super attack, by the way. UI Goku, I think, supers for like 2.3, something like that? No, I think it's more like 2.1 million. Because UI Goku, his actual super hits for 1.8, but he gets 30% attack. And he does seal as well. So I think it's like somewhere around like 2.5 to 2.1 million is how much damage UI Goku does. Damn, there it is right there. Alright. Well, I mean, we still saw Buutenks. Let's see about the normals. Okay, this is good footage still. So UI Goku's normals are like 800k or something like that. Oh, we double supered with Buutenks, though. That's huge, because he does get 50%. Yeah, okay. Okay. Double digits. From, like, again, those are, like, 800k normals. Okay, okay. Yeah, I mean, Buutenks, like he's okay-ish. I think that Buutenks is a character, again, we could run as filler option or like the last unit on this Buu Saga Majin Power team. He's not exactly like, you know, oh my god, he's unlocking the Majin Power team. That's going to be super easy, a physical Kid Buu next week, right? But yeah, he seems good to me, this Buutenks. At least solid, like solid-ish. I think, provided you got him with the full dodge build. You don't want to be relying on his damage reduction. Buutenks' damage reduction? No way. No way. Alright, guys, so there was this sub-EZA Buu Gotenks right here. Again, he's a decent-ish character right here. I feel like you can get away with him a little bit, but that, like, his defensive ability, it's not going to be as impressive as I think some people might think it would be, right? So this right here, I've always loved this guy's title. Love of the Throne. That's good. He does, of course, have a sticker, but I'm pretty low on stickers these days. The sticker effect does look pretty good, right? Love of the Throne, Majin Buu Gotenks. Leader skill is physical type key 3 and 100% to stats. So, I mean, you definitely could utilize that, I would say, in Battlefield, for sure. His passive skill, Evil's Territory. He lowers superclass enemies' attack by 30% and defense by 60%. I think that's actually a very good ability. Especially, you know, Battlefield, Super Battle Road, like a lot of different places where you could take good advantage of that. So I do like him having that. He gets 1 key, 100% attack and defense at the start of turn. Gets 150% attack and defense on super attack. Then he gets 2 key, 100% attack and defense, and 30% damage reduction if all allies in the turn are Majin Buu Saga category characters. So there's a restriction. For sub-EZA level characters, I don't think that that's a big deal. Then he does a guaranteed crit if the enemy is in attack down or defensive down status. His super attack is the Kamehameha, which gives him 50% attack and defense for 1 turn, does supreme damage, and then seals enemy super attack. One thing that's big about this, because I'm thinking about this guy potentially, like, would he help a global player do the Supreme Battle Spectacle Beast Gohan Artificial Lifeform mission? I do think that this guy would potentially be helpful for it. And remember, the second phase, the Ultimate Gohan, he blocks Ki Blast super attacks, so you'll do 0 damage to him. So it's good that Buutenks does that little combo before the Kamehameha. I do think that this is a character you could get away with a little bit using in there, but yeah, I mean, he probably would be a-okay against potentially like some of the normals. Like, as long as he doesn't end up in slot 1 against Beast, you could be okay. But there's not, like, you can't prevent that 100%, especially with how low the damage is for the Artificial Lifeform team. Eventually, you could have this guy get locked into slot 3, and then a couple turns later, he gets locked into slot 1. I've had it happen in that fight, right? Because that Gohan takes so little damage from so many attacks, and is so genuinely annoying that it definitely is a thing that can happen, right? So there's that. His link set is Majin, Over in a Flash, Metamorphosis, Kamehameha, Nightmare, The Wall Standing Tall, and Fierce Battle. And then the 12 key multiplier is 140% for EZA Buutenks here. And then Buutenks does have quite a few different category teams that he's a part of. So let's go and take a look at it. So, of course, we're on the Majin Buu Saga category team. That's basically the team that we are encouraged to run him on, right? Then he's also over here on Transformation Boost. So he is on Broly's team. Like, to be fair, every single character that comes out basically is on Broly's team, though, with the combination of leader skills he's got. Then there's also the Artificial Lifeform team that Buutenks is on. Again, global players just have, like, infinite options to do that Supreme Battle Spectacle Beast Gohan fight. Because it's like, all these characters are coming out on JP to help players beat that mission who haven't beaten it yet, right? Well, whereas Global hasn't gotten the mission yet. So Global, I'm excited for Global because so many of these crazy fights and stuff like that that have dropped, Global has never actually experienced how hard a lot of these fights are, right? So, like, now, you know, when the next time we get some of these crazy missions and fights, Global's not going to have all these extra characters that didn't exist. So they're going to see the true, like, wrath of some of these bosses. This is Artificial Lifeform. Whoops, wrong one. Next, he's on Kamehameha. Still waiting for this to get a strong leader. Definitely excited for that. Buutenks is also on the final trump card category team, along with a lot of other good villains here. So, decent villain team, I'm sure. Then, Buutenks is also on the Majin Power category team, which is sort of essentially where we ran him on. Basically, it was, you know, Buu Saga Majin Power is what we ran. Then Buutenks is also on, what is this, Power Absorption? Yeah, this is the Power Absorption category team. Then Buutenks is also on Time Limit. Yeah, this is Time Limit, because I see Grandpa Gohan right there. Remember, this did recently just get a tough mission for, that was the Super Buu fight. Yeah, the Super Buu fight was the Time Limit mission. You know, definitely a little bit of a challenge there for sure. So there's Time Limit. Then, Buutenks is also on the Sworn Enemy category team as well, which Fat Buu leads. And then finally, Buutenks is down here on Worldwide Chaos, so he's on Fusion Zamasu's team as well. So there we go. There is this EZA Buutenks. Let me know what you guys think about him. I think he's a decent-ish option. I don't think he's too good, but I don't think he's too bad either.